Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
Here we go.
Watch the run, watch the run.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Prescott on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that run. Now this throw caught left side. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now Prescott into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 16 carries, 67 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 8. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Todd Gurley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result. 6 points.
Touchdown. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit every time I think about Zach Martin and the controversy, air quotes there, about him being picked by the Cowboys because many thought that another player was going to be picked in that spot. But they made the right call in getting Zach Martin. Versatile player, played guard and tackle in college, and uses that versatility to his great advantage in the NFL. Immediately was an all-pro and continues to play to that level. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 21 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Elliott. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he's got this down to the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And this one goes nowhere, losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Draw play, Elliott. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Badgley's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Give to Cook out of the gun.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Kill.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their time. As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Well, indeed, try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Prescott. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott now to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Final play of the half. Prescott, he's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we hit halftime. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they got the victory last week against the Rams, so some good momentum as they come up 1st and 10. Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now back to throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender. And
he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more.
And he's going to go down again. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
This is Elliott. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And now out comes Minnesota. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40. Back now in Arlington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
27 yards there, a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, It's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he lost the football and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And this is going to get out of bounds through the end zone, and that will go as a turnover as the defense will get it at the 20-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To throw is Prescott. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Prescott now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. 4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Prescott yet again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cooper was the target there. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just 1 kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that until